I'm gonna help. I'm gonna totally de-escalate this situation. I'm gonna de-escalate this situation. And we were like, my man, you've never de-escalated a thing in your life. In your life. From your hair to your politics, nothing is a de-escalation. Nothing. But Trump came in and he's like, I don't like how Iran and Israel are launching bombs at each other all the time. So many bombs, we can't have this, it's not right. Too many bombs, we gotta stop it. No more bombs, we gotta stop it, we gotta fix it. And they're like, all right, how are you gonna fix it? He's like, by dropping bombs.
It's almost laughable how the president can stretch a 2-minute remark into a 45-minute ramble about nothing. Trevor Noah wasn't just exposing the absurdity, he was practically charting the thoughts of a man who seems to view coherence as optional. Ask him about infrastructure, and somehow you'll hear a story about a golfer he met back in 1987 who claimed the secret to America's success was bigger stakes. It sounds like improvisation without rhythm, without melody, and without a single listener asking for more.
In the time that I've been here, I've been following the presidential race, and I've noticed that a few pieces of conventional wisdom have formed around the candidates. None more than with Donald Trump.
6 in 10 Americans believe Trump is unqualified to serve as president.
He's not qualified to be president.
Unfit to be president.
Unfit to be commander-in-chief.
The Des Moines Register writing that Trump is, quote, not only unfit to hold office, but unfit to stand on the same stage as his Republican opponents.
He's unfit for that stage? No, that stage is unfit for Trump. There's no marble, there's no gold. Where are the women in bikinis? And how would he even get there? There's no escalator. Come on, people.
Trevor Noah didn't waste a second tearing into the spectacle that is Donald Trump, a man who treats the Oval Office like it's the set of a reality show reunion, and not even the entertaining kind with champagne and dramatic exits, but the painfully awkward version where half the cast seems to forget the cameras are still on. His latest public appearance was meant to feel presidential, yet it played out like a blooper reel accidentally broadcast live. These days, his speeches carry the shaky flow of someone inventing a bedtime story while fighting to stay awake mid-sentence.
Did you ever have Trump on the show?
No, we never did.
He did say some bad things about you on...
I don't know. I don't keep up with it.
Yeah, I do. I keep up with it. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, but you have like a feud with him. You have like a real... So here's what I've noticed. Like Trump's annoyance at people is directly proportional to how big they were when he like focused on the media. Does that make sense?
I see, yeah, right.
So like Time Magazine is still the biggest thing in his life. And then obviously Jimmy Kimmel, SNL, if they insult him, he gets really angry about it.
Yeah.
I'm so new to him that he's just like, that guy.
Trevor zeroed in on Trump's bizarre talent for speaking nonstop for 45 minutes without actually saying anything. It's like watching someone try to describe a movie they've never seen using random adjectives they once heard in a commercial. And no matter the subject, it somehow always loops back to how adored he thinks he is. A weather disaster? He claims the storm wanted his autograph. An international summit? He insists world leaders line up for his business tips. It's less presidential leadership and more like that uncle at Thanksgiving convinced the whole family is waiting breathlessly for him to reveal his secret barbecue sauce recipe.
And no one expected it. Like the whole world was like, okay, Trump is gonna mediate, or because he said to them, hey guys, let's sort this out, peace deal. We're gonna do a peace deal. And then he dropped bombs on Iran. And everyone in the world was like, what the hell? And a lot of people in my life were like, oh man, I can't believe that Trump did this. I can't believe. And they were so stressed. And I was like, yes, but look on the bright side. And they were like, what bright side? I was like, on the bright side, Trump also can't believe that he did this.
The live audience watched as Trevor tore apart Trump's constant habit of turning every occasion into a personal branding exercise. A national briefing somehow morphs into a Trump commercial. A foreign policy speech drifts into a tale about his golf game. He could be announcing a ceasefire, and suddenly we'd be hearing about the square footage of Mar-a-Lago. Even when he sticks to the teleprompter, it feels as though he's reading the words for the first time, pausing to decide in real time whether they're even worth the effort.
So the complaint about Trump is that he's unpresidential, and it stems from certain statements that he's made.
When Mexico sends its people, they're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some I assume are good people.
And you know what they say, when you assume, you're the best at assuming. Trump.
I know Trevor didn't hold back on the visuals either. Trump's delivery is this odd blend of stand-up comic timing mixed with the baffled energy of a substitute teacher. The pauses that should carry weight instead come across like he's trying to remember where he left his Diet Coke. And that expression, the squint, the pursed lips, the tilted head, it's as if he's constantly reacting to a smell he doesn't like but can't quite place. When the camera zooms in, you almost expect him to blurt out, "Who farted?" instead of anything resembling policy.
You could rekindle a friendship and change this country.
Oh, yeah. No, well, I don't think it would change the country. I know I could rekindle the friendship with one compliment. That would be all it takes. And that's why he's such a terrible choice for president. Because you can turn him around with a simple comment. I mean, he loves people he hated 5 minutes ago.
One hug, Jimmy. One hug.
One hug right around the midsection.
One hug. You just go in there, one hug.
Then came Trevor's takedown of Trump's endless public feuds, the kind of live TV drama that somehow overshadows the actual event itself. Trump doesn't just disagree with opponents, he narrates their existence like he's stuck in a never-ending roast battle. It's not political debate so much as reality TV confessionals, except this time the stakes are real laws, not who gets voted off an island. Trevor highlighted how, in Trump's world, facts aren't just flexible. They're ornamental, they're to decorate the scene rather than guide it. Watching him dodge accountability on live television feels like watching someone insist they weren't speeding while standing next to a car still smoking from the engine. Trevor didn't hold back, comparing his style to a gamer using cheat codes but still managing to lose. And the way Trump wriggles out of tough questions is almost athletic. The sidestep, the spin, the sudden pivot into something completely unrelated. If a question on healthcare somehow transforms into a rant about wind turbines, you know you've crossed into Trump country.
Trump says. He's such a... For me, Donald Trump is an emotional paradox, I'm not gonna lie. You know, logically I can process him, emotionally I struggle. On the one hand, I will admit I wake up many days terrified at the notion that he's president of the most powerful nation in the world. But I also must admit I wake up many days knowing he's gonna make me laugh. Yeah, there's terror and there's joy. And
Trevor broke down Trump's obsession with crowd sizes, still a fixation years into his presidency. Even during talks about disaster relief, he'd somehow circle back to bragging about rally turnouts, like a rock star counting ticket sales mid-sentence. On live TV, it looked even stranger. He'd light up at the mention of crowds, as if applause was oxygen and silence unbearable. Then came the trademark self-congratulation, declaring himself the best at anything, with the certainty of someone who just invented electricity. Trevor also jabbed at Trump's selective memory. He forgets campaign promises, but recalls every insult or poll number with the precision of a historian.
Trump, that was the weirdest of all. Every other American president was predictable. You know, you understood the ebb and flow. Trump, you never knew what to expect. Right? The volume on his voice all over the place, inflection where it didn't make sense. Do you know how hard it was to figure out where to put the volume on your TV when watching a speech? I had to sit there and write it like a shitty DJ the whole time as you speak, because you wouldn't know where it would happen. He'd be up there.
I think as Americans, we try and try, so try, big trying, all trying, and it is.
Trevor noted how live TV makes Trump's quirks impossible to miss. Every smirk, tangent, and burst of self-praise plays out in high definition. What Trump thinks makes him relatable often makes him look like he stumbled into the wrong event and started talking until someone handed him a trophy. The roast peaked when Trevor compared Trump's handling of tough questions to a magician's trick, except the rabbit never appears, leaving only an empty hat he insists is the greatest ever. The audience is left unsure whether to laugh, clap, or demand a refund. Trevor's critique was sharp, yet precise, showing how Trump's live TV persona shifts from presidential to pure self-branding. The irony, Trevor pointed out, is that live TV denies Trump the power to edit or retake every awkward pause, every detour, every deflection airs unfiltered. And that's where the comedy truly lives.
Arabia isn't playing ball with Joe Biden. And you know what? You can say what you want, but this would have never happened to Donald Trump. Never. No one was ever ignoring Donald Trump's calls. Yeah, because if you ignored Donald Trump's calls, you didn't know how he would respond. Maybe he'd send an angry tweet, or maybe he'd just ban your country from everything. You don't know. That's why I bet in these situations, Biden actually wishes that he could hire Trump to step in as President Wildcard. Just keep everyone on their toes. Because if Trump was calling, you best believe the UAE, they'll be racing to pick up the phone. Oh, Mr. Trump, we're here.
Just when it seems the night can't get any more absurd, Trump rolls out his greatest hits like a DJ stuck in 2016. The Wall, the witch hunts, the fake news, it all returns like a reboot nobody asked for. This time, though, Trevor's armed with sarcasm and perfect timing, turning every recycled line into a razor-sharp punchline. Trump brags about crowd sizes again, as if that's some presidential achievement, and Trevor runs with it, sketching the image of a man who measures success in folding chairs instead of policies. Then comes Trump's attempt to rewrite history in real time. According to him, nothing was ever his fault. Not the media, not Democrats, not the weather, maybe even Mercury in retrograde. Trevor doesn't miss a beat, mocking the audacity of failing, denying it happened, and then boasting about someone else's supposed failures in the same breath. It's like watching someone burn down a house, then complain about the fire department's paint job.
When you watch Donald Trump, does he remind you a little bit of Egyptian leaders? Yeah, a lot? Yeah, it's just without the Arabic. Just say again? They're also what? Oh, they are friends, yeah, he is. You can see that. It'd be cool if, I feel like Trump would be exactly the same even if he spoke Arabic. It would be the same thing. It'd be like,
And of course, Trump couldn't resist the detour to congratulate himself, insisting that everyone loves him. World leaders, everyday Americans, even the so-called haters. That's when Trevor's eyebrows practically exit the stage. His breakdown of this fantasy is brilliant, rattling off who might actually adore Trump: tax accountants chasing loopholes, spray tan suppliers, and conspiracy theorists with too much free time. Outside that bubble, Trevor says the love is more like how you feel about a traffic jam. You don't, but you accept it because you have no choice. He also nailed Trump's trademark habit of contradicting himself mid-sentence. With absolute certainty, Trump declares one thing, pauses, then immediately spins in the opposite direction, as if the first statement never existed. Trevor skewers this with surgical humor, calling it verbal gymnastics so absurd it could earn a gold medal in nonsense.
you just look at everything that he does. The world we now live in because of him. You realize we're living through history. This will never happen in our lifetimes again. We're living through a time when we're all learning about the presidency at the same time as the president. That's never happened. How wild is that concept? You wake up every day reading the news and you're like, wow, I didn't know that. And somewhere at that exact same moment, he's reading the same news going, wow, me too.
Then came the part where Trump bragged about being tough on crime while neatly dodging his own mountain of legal troubles. Trevor could hardly contain his laughter, not out of shock, but because it was the most predictable move in the Trump playbook. Call out someone else's supposed crimes while your own rap sheet runs longer than the credits of a Marvel movie. Trevor framed it as less tough on crime and more tough on getting caught, with blame shifting as his real specialty. From there, Trevor widened the lens. He wasn't just roasting Trump's words, he was dismantling the mythology brick by brick. Every boast about being the best, the smartest, the most successful, was undercut with blunt reality, then roasted into dust. The Trump Tower empire, shady deals, lawsuits stacked higher than the floors themselves. The art of the deal? More like the art of the delay until the check clears. Trevor's roast turned into a guided tour of Trump's inflated resume, delivered with enough comedy to make the audience laugh even as the truth stung.
Like that's the one glimmer of hope that I get from Donald Trump, is that like he also doesn't know what he's doing. He's in it with us, which is a nice change. Oftentimes we're at the mercy of those in power, but he's in the mercy with us. Like we're all locked in a prison cell, but he's holding the key and he's like, we're all trapped, we're all trapped. What are we gonna do? We're like, you use the key. What are you talking about?
Trump's obsession with staying in the spotlight gets its own reel. Trevor notes how even when nothing is happening, Trump finds a way to shove himself into the story like a pop-up ad you can't close. He doesn't just want to be the main character, he wants to be the plot, the setting, and the twist ending. Trevor's roast of this neediness lands because it's so obviously true, though wrapped in humor sharp enough to keep the audience laughing. And when Trump shifts into his "I'm the victim" routine, Trevor shuts it down instantly. Victim? This is the man who spent years taking shots at anyone who crossed him. Now claiming unfair treatment is, as Trevor puts it, like a playground bully filing a complaint after someone finally pushes back. The hypocrisy doesn't just invite ridicule, it demands it. Trevor also zeroes in on the sitcom-like quirks of Trump's appearances. The rambling tangents, the odd hand gestures, the way he sometimes seems to read invisible cue cards in midair. Under Trevor's comedic lens, the picture becomes so clear you can practically see it play out.